You're not in the military, but you are a security expert. You said in the police somewhere else outside Nigeria. Tell us what you think we should be looking into, because as it is now, it would seem as if the tactics of Boko Haram has changed. First, they were taking over territories. Now, they have decided to go out on soft targets, going to religious places, to parks, and the likes. What do you think that the people can do in helping the security agencies stamp these bad guys out?
Okay, fantastic. First of all, let me correct this, the language of soft target. I don't know who coined that language, where you came from. For a terrorist, a target is a target. They look at places, they look at locations, that when they hit those locations, it's going to create fear in the hearts of the people. It's going to make the people to doubt their government. It's going to make the people to doubt their security services. I don't care about if it's soft or hard target. The bottom line is they are hitting targets. People are losing lives. We are losing properties. They are creating fear among the people. What can we do better? Wow, a lot of things. Do we have targets? Do we have the right experts? Now, I don't believe in the idea of using purely force or intimidation or suppression to try to wipe Boko Haram away. I don't believe in that. I'm not sure that the government are doing enough when it comes to winning hearts and mind. Now, this is what we do very well in the British services. We know how to win hearts and mind a lot. How are they winning the hearts and mind of people in Plateau State? How are they winning the hearts and mind of people in Borno State, in Yobe State, in Adamawa State? What have they done to make the people to feel that I can take this confidential information to the security services? What have they done to convince them that we are here for you? Now, you don't blame the servicemen, because in a situation where you don't have a strong judiciary that are punishing captured militants, now what do you expect the services agents to do? Now, how many of our Boko Haram people have been arrested and prosecuted and jailed? What is going on with the judiciary? Now, for you as a serviceman, military or police or DSS, how would you feel you go on operation and you've got colleagues that even your wives know each other, you work together, you go to operations together, and he is killed or she is killed, and you have to come back and tell the wife, sorry, I couldn't protect your husband. And now you arrested the person that did it, and after 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, nothing happens. The next time the person is probably bailed or freed. How do you feel as a serviceman? So we need to be able to have measures to win hearts and minds, number one. We need to be able to encourage our servicemen, to motivate them that we've got the law to protect them, that when they arrest people, we can prosecute them. That's number two. And number three, we need to look at the possibility of having a development plan for the people of the affected states. What do we have to do with those young people that have got no jobs, that have got no hope? Now, obviously, these things have been going on since the creation of Nigeria. So obviously, I'm not a politician. I'm not going to try to blame any person here. But I believe that Mr. President, as a professional, as an ex-military man, has the desire, the good intentions to do so much. But he is only one man. We need to have people capable around him. If the ones around him are not capable, look for capable hands. But remember, look for indigenous capable hands. Don't take our issue of international security to give that to external countries or people from other parts of the world. You are actually exposing yourself more. So I think we can start from here and see how it goes.
Maybe that's why we should ask, maybe we should disentangle each of the scenarios that we've seen so far, because it was seen that some of them occurred where they have been blasted before. So for instance, Jos. They have been blasted there before. We've seen some success stories come out of Jos in terms of people being more vigilant. In Kaduna, it didn't happen this time around, though. Unfortunately, over 40 people lost their lives in Jos on Sunday. In Kaduna, it was a different story. Bomb explosions in Kaduna are extremely rare. In fact, it would seem that, this is the first story in a very, very long time. And, it was a very vulnerable target. People who were at the local government headquarters, possibly not expecting any sort of thing that happened to them yesterday to happen. And perhaps it could raise the vigilance of people. But if you look at the situation in Kano, it would seem that the people around there were a lot more vigilant than had been in the past. in terms of them preventing the woman, the lady who was said to have want to come into the mosque, from entering the mosque. It would seem that the casualty rate there, if there was any at all, was very, very low. The question is, do you think that as a people we have let down our guard because Boko Haram, it would seem, had changed tactics at one point in time or the other?
A beautiful question. Obviously, there's a school of thought that believes that we have let down our guards, and this can be shown. Obviously, I cannot say everything on air because at times one has to be careful as a professional. You don't know who is watching, who is listening, so I wouldn't be the one giving all the guys information of what to do. But some school of thought will believe that if you go across certain plazas or malls around town, that you notice that the guards at the gate have kind of relaxed. It's not what it used to be like 3 months ago when they were up and doing with their game. If you go across certain places of worship, you can notice that even though they've got security presence, you can tell that they're a bit more relaxed. They don't do their checks thoroughly like they used to do. Now, we need to ask ourselves, why do we have to relax? We need to actually stand up and start to do more. Now, we need to understand that certain parts of Nigeria, people love to watch. They love drama. So when they see a man playing with knives or daggers, they want to gather around those kind of people to watch. I think we need to encourage Nigerians to stop doing that. And when you talk about encourage, it's about mass awareness. I'm not sure we are doing enough to inform our masses, not just in Queen's English, but we need to break this down in different, in Hausa, in Yoruba, in Tiv, in Kanuri, in Fuludi, in Igbo. We need to break it down in Pidgin English to inform people the do's and the don'ts so they can become aware how to stay away from vulnerable areas, how to be careful when they're in places of a potential target. We need to do more to educate our people. As I said before, we have to do more mass education.
That is on the one end. Now, the question will also be, I mean, we've noticed an increased use of young ladies or women as suicide bombers. Women are generally people, or children are people that people would generally not suspect. How do you think this changes the dynamics, especially in an area where, you know, people are reluctant to, say, search women, for instance?
Obviously, we need to know that the game has changed. Obviously, we have cultural and religious issues in Nigeria, and we need to start asking ourselves, do we want to protect those our cultures and religious dressing methods? Now, the truth is, in this kind of situation, we as Nigerians have to be careful about what I'm going to say now. We as Nigerians have to actually protect one another. And in doing this, when you allow people wear certain kind of cultural or religious garments and they perpetrate this kind of atrocities, what it makes people start to get worried about you when they see you wearing such an attire. People will get uncomfortable. They'll be scared if you're going to blow them up. So I want to see people from those cultures to speak up, to educate their people, the community leaders, the religious leaders, to educate their people, so you don't allow your people to be seen as dangerous people. Because it's quite heartbroken as an African if somebody from the Western world sees me as a criminal, as a fraudster because of the color of my skin. I'll feel sad. I'll feel very bad. The same thing for somebody to dress up in a cultural or religious attire who is innocent to be seen as a potential suicide attacker. You know, it's going to be quite frustrating and demoralizing. So for us to be able to change that mindset, we need to get the community leaders, the stakeholders more involved. I love to see where the DSS sets up monthly meetings with stakeholders or community leaders in all these hotspots to discuss with them, to give them ideas. Now, when we talk about ideas, you've got what you call strategy, that is the overall picture of what you want to do. That is tactics. Now you talk about tactile. How do you actually educate community leaders on what they should do? You don't just say, be careful, look out for your brothers, but you have to tell them exactly what they should be doing. For example, if somebody gets missing, these are actions you should take. The 112 emergency number, for example, doesn't work across Nigeria. It only works probably in the major cities. Go to some hinterlands, it doesn't work. We need to be able to help the people, to tell them, this is exactly what I want you to do. When somebody new comes to your community, look at their height, understand their complexion. Do they have any marks on their face? Do they have any gap on their teeth? Monitor them. These are people you should contact. Now, it gives them more information on what exactly they should be doing so they won't put themselves in harm's way by trying to help. But we are not doing enough, and we need to encourage the religious leaders, our community leaders, stakeholders to do more monthly collaboration and partnership so we can all be in the picture together.